All
Okay.
right. We're recording. Okay. So what are your thoughts on this video?
Well, I just wanted to ask you about your feedback because I thought it was really interesting. Um, my thoughts on the video, I think I mentioned in the reflection that the students were actually very difficult on that day. Um, and you don't really, maybe you don't see it in the video, but they were actually really, it was so hard to handle them. Yeah.
I guess being a special ed teacher, sometimes the things that like I see, um, I mean, I've been bitten and stuff, so so I think my
Mhm.
perception's a little
Right. Kids are wild.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we
Um,
we at the beginning of the class we had three teachers in the class, you know. Maybe that made them more excited. I don't know.
yeah, and I think too, like maybe like, one day that they're like all over the place, and the next day they're like, you know, they're young too, so it's another, um,
Mhm.
but yeah, it really didn't. I mean, I could tell that they were wound up for sure. I mean, but it didn't really affect like my perception of like your teaching or like like it just, the classroom environment as a whole. Um Probably because I've seen other videos too, but like I just didn't think, that it was a reflection on you as a teacher. Like, there could be a million things
Yes.
that could cause them to act like that.
No, I edited it out, but there was one point where the co-teacher took a student out of the class for 5 minutes and talked to the student, had a one-to-one. So that, yeah, for example. But
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you also, if I may, mm, you said such nice things about the video, and then you said with the what could be improved, a formative assessment um like a thumbs up check or an exit song or a reflection question.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, anything that could just kind of have the students circle back around to like the initial goal. And
Yes.
it can be anything. It doesn't have to be anything in depth in any way. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I mean, of course, like for every single piece of, like feedback, like every video, even though like the video is awesome, like we always have to think of something for improvement. But I
It's
mean, and I really, I thought even though the students were kind of, enthusiastic, if you will. I
yes.
always think of a positive way to say it. I thought that overall it was, a really good lesson. And and I wasn't sure if it was something where like there was some type of event that had them riled up or um I mean, you said there was the teacher, so
You
that could be
know,
it too.
that's not even communicated to me all of the time either.
Oh, that doesn't help.
Students come into my classroom later in the day, and
Hmm.
then I have no idea what's happened with them earlier on.
That's hard, especially with that age. I feel like you need to know, if
Yes.
something's happened or if there's like something, like that's thrown the schedule off or whatever. Um, yeah. Um, but yeah, I think, I mean, overall, like I thought, you had a good amount of things to keep the students engaged. You know, you had clear directions with them. You're always encouraging, even when even when it's tough, you're always encouraging. Um, and oh, let me get back up. It just my screen just jumped. um, and you recognize the students for listening, and I think that's huge when you're trying to deal with um that type of situation where it's kind of chaotic. Really focusing on the students who are doing what they're supposed to do is a great way to manage the ones who aren't, because especially at that age, they want to hear that they're doing a good job. um so continuously focusing on like the positives of what the other students are doing, in time we'll have those students that are kind of all over the place. Oh, I want to hear that I'm doing good too, so let me sit down and listen. um so I thought that
Right.
was a really
If nothing else is happening, then your subconscious is taking in what someone else is playing. So at the very least, there's that. Uh, so I feel like that's just another way of practicing and another way of taking something in. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. Absolutely. They're always learning, even when it doesn't seem like they're even, mentally on the same planet as you. They're still learning. So